March 2023, a group of researchers formed the Truth Mafia, a collective determined to investigate conspiracies and occult mysteries that have been buried for centuries. With a passion for uncovering the truth, they delve into the darkest corners of history, pop culture, and ancient mysteries, seeking answers to questions that have plagued humanity for ages. The Truth Mafia is led by Tommy Truthful, a man shrouded in mystery and intrigue, dedicated to uncovering the hidden truths behind some of the world's most perplexing and enigmatic phenomena. Their research has led them down countless rabbit holes, from deciphering ancient symbols to exploring the hidden meanings behind popular media and literature. Despite the risks and challenges they face, the Truth Mafia remains steadfast in their quest for knowledge. Will their investigations lead to groundbreaking revelations, or will they unravel an even deeper web of secrets and lies? Only time will tell in this ongoing saga of conspiracy and intrigue.
How you guys doing? Welcome to another episode of Truth Mafia News. This is episode 12. So I had to do the Reptilians because 12 is binary. Binary is 12, DMT is 12, and I'm talking about in Chaldean Gematria, which comes from Jewish Kabbalah mysticism. So there's a theory out here that these elites running the world are working with some interdimensional entities, and this is what in the Bible, the entity that tempted Eve is supposed to be a reptilian humanoid. Now, they're not from a faraway star system, I don't believe anyways. I believe they're interdimensional, and I actually think they're from Dimension X. What we've been led to believe is Nibiru or Planet X. I think it's more of a dimension. So before we get going, make sure you smash that like button, share the video, and don't forget, guys, do me a big favor. Take 2 seconds out, click on the link down in the description, and opt in for our daily newsletter on truthmafia.com. That way you get email updates on all the projects we're dropping, and all the sponsorship and all that is down in the descriptions below. So how you doing today, Pops?
Son, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you like my special coin I made right there?
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Let me come on and see the brothers and sisters today. We're on, I guess we're broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube and Rumble today.
Yeah,
all of them. All right. Well, let me come on real quick and see the brothers and sisters. Hey, everyone. Hope you're all doing wonderful today. Son, if I was doing any better, again, I'd be flying with the angels. Hey, you can see that massage chair. You see that massage chair behind me?
Yeah.
We don't, you believe it or not, Cindy and I got, because we used to go to the chiropractor so much, and we got that chair, and we barely use it. We use it once in a while. So we've had
that's like a real one, huh?
Yeah, that's the the one that gets down on it, seriously. But yeah, I gotta utilize it more often. I got to.
You know what you should get, Pops, for real? Down in the Dominican Republic, you should get you a sauna, dude. That's like the best investment. It's so healthy for you. Donut goes, he goes and does his little workouts and goes into the sauna. But he said it really helps like a lot. And that's probably why them Russian dudes live so damn long. They're always in them saunas, you know?
Yeah, they like the saunas.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can get that to stop showing up, but hey, it is
all
what
right.
it is. It is what it is. I got a green screen downstairs and where I had the, outside of the house in the studio, a thing down there, but now I have my chair up here. So I'll be moving next month into the new location here in the US, but I'm really going to be focusing on the DR, also. We got a lot to talk about today, son. I mean, things are going on, and I want to talk to the brothers and sisters here today with us about some of the things that they need to start working on with their neighbors, with their friends, with their family. As we go through these reptilians that are, the reptilians go all the way back, from when Satan wouldn't, basically, be put underneath humans, right? and rebelled and took all those angels, but created a lot of angels. People don't know that the creation, the creator, the point of origin created, but then those things also created. So, you know, this is a big DNA genetic mess we got going on here. Lots of reptilian bloodlines on this planet, lots of them. We might have a couple billion, maybe, you know, 2, 3, I'm not sure exactly what, that are, you know, pure DNA of, you know, what you call Seth from the
I don't
flood,
even
right?
think that many, Dad. I think
Maybe not, maybe not.
Yeah, I think they corrupted the seed so bad. The seed line, that's what it is. It's an ancient DNA war that we're in. And you know,
Well, yeah, if you own the DNA, if you own the bloodline, you own, you know, you can see why they're doing it, right? I mean,
yep. But the whole new triple helix and all that, be careful what I say because we are on YouTube. But
yeah.
you know, it is about control. And when you look into the smart cities and the smart grid and how it's all tethered to these entities, you know, in last week's episode, I showed the audience that conversation that I had with Raven, the new chat bot on.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that was just crazy what these things, you know, can say. But again, all the technology. And guys, we've been seeing the number 34 pop up left and right with that freaking earthquake that just happened in Japan. Did you guys notice the video at the bowling alley? And man, that was shaking in Japan, Pops. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but
Well, they just removed your cancer thing, coincidence thing from Facebook, because I just went and logged on Facebook to look at, you know, make sure everything's good over there.
yeah,
And they had a pop up. They just removed your post of the plane crash that we're
wow.
going to talk about. And now we don't need to get into the doctors on the plane or any of that, but we can get into. There's a lot of planes that are turning off in the middle of flight.
Did they hold on? They removed my post for what?
Oh, I don't know. Well, let's not get into it now. You can handle that when we're done. But
yeah, I'll handle it when we're done. But that's just crazy because it was going viral. So, you know, anytime that happens, and by the way, guys, we hit 300,000 followers on our Facebook. So thanks to you guys.
yes,
You know, I appreciate y'all for all the love and support. It still shows on my end, Dad, 201. Dude, if they did take it down, I'm about to screenshot this. If they took it down at 201 shares, I am going to laugh.
well, hey, it is what it is. We're back on it. We weren't on it for a couple weeks, so we got to stay on it because we can reach more people, right? We reach way more people because we're building the Rumble channel. We reach way more people when we are going on YouTube and Facebook and Rumble and all of the other assets. So that, you know, we have to, unfortunately, we have to, you know, skirt the line a little bit. But hey, son, you know, you're giving a lot of information, so they're not messing with that. They don't seem to mess around with the 5G stuff. We're allowed to do a lot with, you know, Bodyline. Again, that sponsor link is in the description with the 5G, you know, with the ads and all of that. They don't seem to have a problem with that. So it's really weird, man. You know, some things they have a problem with, other things that you think they would have a problem with, they don't have a problem with.
Well, it just depends, you know, and
right.
They'll come and next thing you know, you won't have no strikes for like a year and then they'll just take your whole channel from you. So you just got to be proactive. And that's why it's so important to build Rumble. And before we get into this reptilian video, the plane crash with the cancer doctors on it. Probably killed these people. That's my opinion, if I'm allowed to have that.
Well, I know, but, you know, just kind of skirt around that. The bottom line is that plane, did you see it? All power turned off and it just freaking rolled down. Boom. You don't survive one of those. That's for sure.
Well, ask the people in the comments, guys, what country did I say to watch out for? Did I not say Brazil? Because Rumble cut Brazil's feed, Dad. So there's 2 countries that Rumble doesn't, if you're on a VPN, I found this out on accident because, Pops, I'm always on a VPN. So I was on a VPN in Brazil and it wouldn't let me on Rumble. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And it said, we're working with your country to get to the bottom of this. But right now, if you're from Brazil, you're not allowed to use our platform. And then they did it with France too. So I went on the VPN. I tried to figure out what all ones were doing it. And this was about a month and a half ago. I said, I guarantee something happens in these two places, France and Brazil. And now we have this plane crash, which, remember, guys, this year's the 23rd anniversary year since 9/11. And 23 is a very important number among the occult. So, of course, they're going to do a lot of staged and real rituals with planes. That's a thing we should be watching out for in the news right now. Guarantee you're going to hear a bunch of stories involving planes. Did you notice what's going viral right now? All the talk about Camilla and that plane and it being fake. And you know what I'm talking about, Dad?
Yeah. What a mess, man. They got that whole crowd thing with AI, and everybody's deformed and got 14 hands and 13 noses. It's ridiculous. They think that's how dumb the American public is. One thing I want to tell you, son, you got your I Want My Health Back link ain't working in your description, just so you know. You might want to pop in there and take a look at that. I'm always looking at descriptions and stuff. I spent all day today working on anybody out there that has a business, make sure that you are perfecting your website, what's called a UI, user interface, on mobile. You got to be doing it because mobile's now way more than 50% of the visitors on most websites, and in some even up to 70. I think Truth Mafia is very high with mobile, son.
Oh, yeah.
Very high.
Can you fix that on Facebook, Dad? And I can fix it right here on.
Sure. Let's keep talking about what we're doing, but I have no problem fixing that up there.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to play this video right now.
Yeah. While you're doing that, we'll do that. We'll knock it out.
Yeah. Perfect time for this, guys. Check this out.
We were just doing what they were best at, jumping from star system to star system, looking for planets with the fertility needed to create new life by means of accelerated evolution. The idea, as promised by their leader Anu, was to develop a utopian society. The day came when they hit an absolute jackpot by coming across a planet on the outskirts and backwoods of the galaxy, a planet that we call Earth. What a stroke of luck, considering that this planet was far away from the densely populated regions of the galaxy's center. They could now conduct their research and tests in private, away from the prying eyes of the Galactic Federation and its strict rules of conduct. The plan, as always, was to find the dominant species of the planet and engineer the genome to closer match their own, that is, the humanoid form. After all, this form seems to be the best suited for creating technology and advancing a high society. While rummaging this new planet, dwelling in the paradise of the Goldilocks zone, they saw that it was completely inhabited by bird-like reptiles, and they got to work. After finding the species that held the position of the top of the food chain, they began to augment the DNA in laboratories and created a creature of intelligence, foresight, and of course, humanoid form. Despite having absolute success in this tampering, a gigantic problem occurred that was familiar to the blood workers of the Anunnaki. The beings that they created, despite being of great intelligence, were extremely violent and rebellious. This mishap came from a misunderstanding. You see, on a planet of such high density, to be at the top of the food chain, one must be a predator. So no matter how advanced they made these new creatures, they would always violently lash out against their creators. This, of course, is no way to create a utopian society. Attempts to undo their work in order to save themselves from their own violent creation became futile. This new creature was cunning, manipulative, and disgustingly bloodthirsty. The power of these new reptilian humanoids could not be battled against. Anu was left with one option to rid rid themselves of this mistake, to destroy the entire planet instead. And so be it. Anu said, "Fuck it, throw a giant rock at that bitch and destroy everything in its wake," declaring proudly, "We will just come back in 26 million years and see what we can find then." This promise was kept, and upon their return, Anu and his goons were delighted to find that an entirely new kind of life had emerged. These rodents had formed a new type of brain, above but in addition to the violent reptilian brain of their last failed experiments. This new part of the brain held not only potential in intelligence, but had the gift of love. This new mammalian brain was capable of compassion and docility, a perfect recipe for a utopian society. So, round two, baby, they got to work. And what a success it was. This new creature called Adamu was calm, creative, and cooperative. So they decided to engage the divine spark of consciousness into the DNA of man, and learning from their prior mistakes, shut off portions of the DNA that could potentially bring these beings to full divine sentience. This programmed inhibition of the new child creatures seemed to bother particular genetic engineers of the Anunnaki, one of which, Enki, the head scientist, did not find this to be fair. Nevertheless, these concerns were ignored as Anu himself went down and told the new humans to abstain from eating of the tree of cubensis that has inhabited the planet since before time recorded, knowing damn well that this ancient ancestor of the planet could propel the children into fully awakened states and thus capable of rebellion. The new children of Enki's creation were then put to work. The entire species was told to mine gold and do labor day in and day out in order to keep their paradise and the programming necessary to ward off death. By now, it became clear to Enki and the other genetic engineers that Anu's promise to create a utopian society was a lie. They had been working for a clever con man. You see, deliberately isolated from the law put forth by the Council of Nine and the Galactic Federation, Anu had created a docile slave race to worship him and to do the dirty work. This broke the heart of Enki. After all, these people were his children, so he decided to come down and make clear to Adamu and his children that the plan of Anu was that of deceit. He encouraged them to eat from the tree of the Earth ancestors in order to bring them to full divine sentience. And, well, Anu was pissed. So pissed off that he again decided to destroy the planet, this time with a great flood. But this motion created a disagreement between the Anunnaki brethren, causing a war in heaven. The children of Enki were warned of this plan to flood the earth so that they could be given the opportunity to live, and of course, one day evolve to the level needed to join the ranks of the Galactic Federation of Worlds. It was simply not fair to the new children to be wiped out, as they were now blessed with the divine spark of the Godhead. The war in heaven became such a mess that the Galactic Federation had to step in and kick all of the Anunnaki out of this particular solar system, leaving humans, of course, to their own devices, but also giving them a chance to advance at their own merits. For the first time, humans would be left completely alone in the universe, with the few and far between exceptions of trespassing civilizations that would sneak into the planet from time to time to either help nudge the children closer to God, or in more sinister cases, study this new form of genitalia that made procreation in such a high density possible. But after leaving the humans alone to be watched and rooted for, one gigantic problem became clear, a terrible and ignorant oversight that haunts us to this day. You see, when Anu threw that giant rock at the planet to destroy the extremely advanced reptilian first experiment, it only wiped out the surface of the earth. And when they returned to create children from the new mammals, they underestimated the cunning of the terrible bloodthirsty reptiles. They forgot to look underground. After forming an entire civilization within the earth, away from the law of the Federation, frankly a form of deceit that they picked up from Lord Anu himself, the reptiles had no choice but to continue on the only way that they knew how, as predators. The new children, called the human human beings inherited the surface of the earth and were left alone, but unfortunately and devastatingly so, not completely alone, because the reptiles that were illegally created before them found the new mammals to be the perfect prey, food. And their cunning was so sharp they could do so in the shadows undetected. And once it was clear that man had the spark of divinity and emotion, the vengeance of these reptiles went from just bloodthirst to also feeding off the extreme suffering of mankind. After all, what better a way to get back at the so-called gods that abandoned them than to torture the children of these ignorant creators? Their dark spiritual techniques and technology enabled them to change form and manipulate the minds of the naive children of God. They became demons of the most dangerous and powerful kind possible. The human children of Adam were left alone in hell, ironically on a planet of stunning beauty, giving birth to the longest-running branch of mythology in history. This is the story of the humanoid anthropomorphic reptiles, and the entire thing you just heard is completely parabolic.
Pretty interesting. This is my boy, library. This ain't the person that's on the screen right there. So this is how I found dude, right? This person, they're pretty cool too. They got a cool Instagram. They cover reptilian stuff. That's their Instagram and YouTube you see on the screen, but they didn't create that video. And when I originally found it, I thought they did. So I was trying to tag them and give them credit, but really it was my boy, Library of the Untold, which we have interviewed several times, me and Paranoid American. And he now has a channel up on truthmafia.com. His links are down in the description, guys. And he just did an amazing video. I shared it on my YouTube channel in the community on the plasma apocalypse. Probably the best one I ever seen done, honestly. He did phenomenal. But what do you think about this, Pops, about them making that reptilian predatorial race that survived underground?
I think that there are cities and civilizations underground 100%, and why wouldn't there be? Why wouldn't there be? And so they did wipe a lot of the majority of people off the surface, but then there was people underground, like they were talking about, right? That were deep underground, and the whole reptilian thing. It's how it got there. I don't know 100%. You know what I mean? I can't say, well, I'm 100% sure this is the way it rolled out, right?
Right.
But it did roll out. Okay, whether Satan, because he didn't do whatever, was converted into that and then took it and did it, or it was DNA experiments, whatever, it just is, right? It just is. It is. And so it being that way, these people were like food, we're like food for them, right? I forgot I didn't have my camera on. We're like food for them, whether it's our loosh, like you talk about, our energy, they want to suck that negative energy. I was having a conversation earlier with Sheriff Mack at the CSPOA that you and I both support, because I think we need some constitutional sheriffs in our freaking counties, because I got to tell everybody, we got to start focusing on our local situation immediately. There is no more procrastination, regardless if you're blue, red, yellow, purple, I don't care. We got to work on the local side, and we're going to get into more of that. But, I was talking to Sheriff Mack today about, all of this stuff going around, and so many people, son, are not prepared. And now all of these demonic entities are starting to show up in the 3D too, right? There's a lot of pictures of these 3D entities. These four, maybe they're in the fourth dimension most of the time. The demons and all these other things that have been created with all these freaking they've been doing that. Mixing around with the DNA forever, and they want their bloodlines to. I don't know what they're turning this into. It's just disgusting. And from what I'm understanding, when that was wiped out on the top of the planet, and you had Ham, which kind of went to the dark side, right? And then you had Seth, and that which kind of went to the light of spirituality and all of that and follow those paths. But how many people were underground at that time, son? There could have been whole giant civilizations underground, developing underground because of what happened on the surface with the meteor and also the flood. They're like, well, why are we going to do that? We'll just build this underground where the water, if it fills up in the top, it ain't coming and touching us. And we'll just build our whole, civilization. I believe there's probably, a lot of civilization underneath in the planet.
Oh, I'm with you, bro. And Pops. So I don't know if you and Mama seen this series yet, but what you were talking about with the sheriffs and stuff, you should watch Yellowstone, bro. Yellowstone's like a 3-part series. There's Yellowstone, then there's 1883. That show.
Oh no, I watched Yellowstone until he didn't come back and produce the second part of that last season. We're headed back. I've been talking about the Great Division, the separation.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? What do you think? Huh?
What was they doing in Yellowstone? It was all trying to steal that guy's land.
Yeah, but we're getting into, and I want to say this in the right way because I don't want to have a problem with Facebook or YouTube. Even though if we're not trying to do something evil, I don't want to hurt people, and I don't want people to hurt people. But it's very obvious to me that, again, what God's been telling me for years about this great separation, and we could jump into 2 different timelines 100%, but also before those timelines split, we might actually have to go through a physical, 3D separation. And that means that the ones of us that live in certain states and counties that believe in a specific way are going to have to gather together. And those that believe in another way are going to have to gather together. And then states will become, like we use the red and the blue for this political nightmare that we got going on in this country, like the WWE. And so we can't worry about that. We got to get involved in our local communities, and we are doing that. That's why I want everybody to make sure they become part of that Patriots Club with the Truth Mafia link in the description, because we are with that community. You're going to be able to chat with each other. You're going to be able to communicate with each other, and you're going to be able to find other, like-minded people in your area to collaborate together, because you better start working on community gardens. How are you guys going to protect yourself? All of that stuff. Get that stuff working and get it in order so that you can go on and focus on, things that are going to make you thrive and not just survive in what's going on. Because this, to me, son, is the reptilians, the grays, all of these genetic modified, demonic, whatever, you know what I mean? And the other side of the equation, this war is heating up. And, it's raging in the spiritual, and it's going to be really raging in the physical soon, even more. Like, this is going to look like a picnic than what's going on right now.
And, bro, like, people are all around reporting, seeing all these paranormal things, not just, like, I'm having it happen in my real life. I'll send you some videos, Dad, of my mom, some shit she caught in the house recently. I know we looked at some of the orbs, and she caught some more stuff. But there's something definitely going on at her house. But, she's always been real spiritual. So,
well, we got to pray together. We got to declare and decree together. We got to get people that will actually join the free community, for God's sakes, and get in there and let's start praying for each other. We're ready to go. We started promoting it. MPN sending people in. Truth Mafia's got some people in. We're bringing other Patriot influencers in. We're working on gathering everybody together. We don't care if you're a Generation Z, a millennial, a Generation X, the hard-ass generation like me, like Papa Truthful. I'm the first year Generation X. We were drinking from the garden hose. We got the belt. We got the paddle at school. We got the smack or the punch from the father, of the household. We were not raised to be, hiding under a desk or running away from anything.
Yeah,
You know this, son. You know
hey,
this.
my generation really was dropped the ball, you know.
They dropped the ball big time.
Damn. But then it got worse and worse because the 80s, we were the last generation that would still fight. And now these new generations, they're all a bunch of drug addicts. I mean, it's
well, look, one
crazy.
of the good things is Generation Z, a lot of them are waking up. But when I was talking, because again, you got
Z, Dad.
Generation Z is after millennial.
Oh,
but,
okay.
You know, you've got these reptilian, you know, it all starts with Satan. When Christ was on this planet, not getting into religion, but when Christ was on this planet, the third entity, you know, the father created the mother with forethought, and then the mother and the father created the son based on a lot of the holy texts I've read from a lot of different religions. Am I 100% sure of that? Until the point of origin comes down and sits with me and talks to me directly in whatever way. No, I'm not 100%, but I feel it, you know, I feel it. And, you know, we've been educated in this country to have all our people dumbed down, to be good little slaves, good little fear mongers. You know, 80% of hospital visits are from anxiety, right?
Yeah.
From anxiety. So we got a bunch of people, we're blasting out 440 hertz from the TV sets, from the radio stations. No one's playing anything else in their environment. Like, by the way, healing frequency music, my son and I, that's our site. It's free for everybody to listen all the time to. And if there's anything that you find, a video that's not working, let us know. We have them all on Facebook. We have them all in Dropbox. Me and my son went over all that. We'll probably eventually, when we get time, put together another YouTube channel. But
we need to put a page together too on Truth Mafia that is for healing frequency, so it can like take them to that. You know what I mean?
You can put that wherever you want, son. You know what I mean? It's free. It's free for all people to play that in their environment and to bring beautiful, positive frequencies into their environment. Make sure they're, you know, utilizing the body line stuff from Truth Mafia, getting themselves the EMF stuff, getting the band, you know, using that stuff instead of any kind of, you know what I'm talking about, so we don't get in trouble. Right. You know, energy wellness is used by 2/3 of the world in the East. You know, we use Western medicine. That's all I'm going to say about it, because then, you know, they'll make a big deal out of it. And, you know, we're energy beings having a human, you know, having a human experience, right? So,
and Pops, why, you know, it's kind of funny that all these holistical doctors keep turning up dead, dude. I mean,
I know, but don't get too deep in that, son.
I know.
Because that's the one thing they will go boom, because of the fact that
I know.
When we had the 2020 thing going on, you can say it without saying it, right? But when we had the 2020 thing going on, anybody who questioned that, anybody that said anything about any of the stuff related to it, they were taking them down left and right. And, you know,
they don't care no more, though, because it was algorithmic wipeout at that time. They had to get a certain percent of the populace to take the, you know what. So really now I see people talking about it like deep and not getting taken, or they might just be agents and they're allowed to talk about it.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. These people that are talking about stuff that you get warned about or taken off, and they don't get anything, and you see them on there, you got to wonder what's going on.
It's kind of
I mean, but we should be able to talk about our own care, you know, and I believe in wellness, and that's the way that I would like to see the system rebuilt, where all of the people that are within the system itself, you call the healthcare system, are actually rewarded based on how well their people are, their patients are, how well they are, you know, how good they are, how long they're living, all of those positive things that we need to do. But and understanding energy, treating the energy body with the proper frequencies, and really getting people back into you know, back into, you know, into perfect well-being, you know, into alignment with their energy body and their body. You know, Sheriff Mack was talking about the pain relief, right? A relief patch in Bodyline.
Yes.
and how he's got sciatica and his wife Dawn's got all these problems, and how they're using that and they're buying it every month because it works and all of that. Well, everything over at Bodyline works. I wouldn't be involved if it didn't, and you know that for a fact too, son. But when he was talking about he's had some issues with his heart, and pray for Sheriff Mack. Everybody pray for him for perfect healing and health. The man is they're attacking him left and right, the mainstream. Okay, they call him a white supremacist. I mean, they put him up and just slandered him.
Has he
like
ever
no tomorrow.
said anything white supremacy? Never.
No.
He's
No.
never made a white supremacy.
I've known this guy since the 2020, and he was the one that told me that Trump wouldn't win. They won't let him again. And a lot of people think, and I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not going to sit here and tell people I'm a fortune teller. But regardless of which way it goes, it's going to be a battle and a war no matter what, between those fractions and the good and the bad and the ugly. Okay. It's going to be a war. It's not going to be a pretty thing. We don't want to focus on that. We want to focus on, I'm in my house here in Austin. We're going to be moving 2 miles up the road here. I actually had to rent. I usually rent a month early when I'm moving, because I'm not going to buy in the United States yet, because we're going to see a major real estate correction. And not just because of the spending and all that stupid stuff that was going on, but also you got to look at demographics. Like all of the baby boomers bought really big houses. Now they're all retiring. They're going to assisted living. They're going to communities. They're downsizing. And really the millennials can't afford them and don't want those houses.
No, they got that. Now it's the new trend is the tiny homes, dude. I think they did that on purpose too. Like here.
Well, to get you ready for the 15-minute cities.
Yeah. We're going to let you live
ready for the 15. It has to happen. What's really, these people are very, very patient, son, right?
Yeah.
They will take decades and decades and decades and hundreds of years. Remember what you just said on that video? That when they destroyed the planet, they would come back 26 million years later to see how things are going. So hundreds of years, thousands of years are nothing to these folks, nothing to these reptilian, evil, satanic, Luciferian beings. And there's a lot of them besides the reptilians. You got a lot of different types, right? It's like a freak show. But the
fallen angels, they manipulated a lot of genomes. So they were creating all kinds of chimeras.
Giants. I mean, they got skulls that are as big as me, like my whole body.
Swords that are big, no joke. They got swords out here that are as big as a semi truck. Like, who the hell was picking that thing up?
Well, look what Sister Kellyanne just said. Kellyanne, put her up there. I have just met a gentleman that is one of the Canadian people that were involved in that trucker situation. And we had him on Sovereign Radio, right? So I got to listen because, I was on the last hour, but I got to interact with them a little bit and listen to what the conversation was. And that sister that just put that up, the 15-minute cities, Canada is way more advanced in where the United States is going. They're ahead of us. You know what I mean? Europe's really ahead of us. But all the American people need to do is look up at our north neighbors and look over at the EU to see that what happens there is coming for us really quick. And if we don't get together and pray together, declare and decree together, fight the spiritual war, but also focus on all the solutions that we need to do within our own community, and start working on community. Is your sheriff a constitutional sheriff? Do you have enough patriots in that county in order to get, if he's not a constitutional sheriff, the next question is, do you have enough patriots in that county to support someone else and win that is a constitutional sheriff? Because, son, we need someone that's going to protect us. He can create the posse, he can deputize. In 45 states, they're the highest law enforcement in that county.
Right.
Nobody can tell them what to do. No general, no president, no FBI, no county commissioner, no governor, no mayor, nobody. There's nobody besides God behind them in law.
Yeah, no. Why do I have to hear a feedback there? Okay.
Shouldn't be for me.
No, it's my voice I was hearing, but it seems good now. Now, yeah, pops, it's out of control, and their lineage. I mean, people might laugh. Oh, they're talking about reptilians and da 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 da. Well, in 1934, this is from a real Los Angeles Times article. Okay,
When
and
it
that,
was really reporting, when it
yeah,
wasn't all propaganda.
yeah, when they was really reporting back in the day. And look, guys, lizard people catacombs. So this was tied to this Native Americans, and they believe that these reptilian lizard people went underground and built a whole civilization down there due to some asteroids or something falling from the sky. So it was some cyclical event that kept happening. So they built a civilization underground. And I think us that stayed up here, the survivors of these cataclysms, were the ones that our DNA um, mutated a little bit, and not in a negative way, but it gave us certain abilities, and maybe God wanted that always to be that way. I don't know, but yeah, man. Here, if you guys read this story, it is crazy what they found down there. And this was 1934. You can look it up. New LA Times. You know that 34 number too. Remember, Tethered 34, Alien Agenda 34, 1934 is when they found the lizard people. So pretty crazy right there, pops, that it was actually in a freaking newspaper.
Well,
You
yeah, I
know,
mean, Satan is a reptilian. He was from what I heard, he was one of the most beautiful angels in the beginning, and because of the rebellion, was turned into something that wasn't so beautiful. Even though I don't know the exact thing, taking on forms, and it is. There's so much information out there. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling, right? I mean, it really is. But I do know one thing 100% sure, that there is a creator of all things that we live within, and it lives within us, that without it, none of us would be, not even Satan, nothing. Okay. And I pray to it. I'm connected to it. And everything that came from it, which they talk about the mother, son, that. And they talk about the Christ, okay, of the real Trinity there. The mother sometimes called the Holy Spirit, or that, is what I've read. And then everything else was created from that, right? Ongoing, and then other things started creating things, and then other things, because these were very powerful beings that had the ability to create, but not to create, I guess, in the purest form at the highest level, right, son? And then they started messing with the DNA. They were started doing, the splicing and dicing and creating mutants and all kinds of crazy satanic evil stuff. And now we're just like, a mess. This whole, I don't know how much of the surface population are from what the creator of all things would consider. When I say creator of all things, I mean the point of origin. The creator, the point of origin, always been there, always will be there. Nothing above it, everything below it, everything within it, within everything. That's what I'm referring to. But we got to move forward with really working on our spiritual connection, and what we're going to be doing as we transition, as this stuff that cannot stand forever. Okay, we can't continue to run $100 trillion. I'm sorry, not 100 trillion, $1 trillion in debt every 100 days.
damn, is
That's what
that
I
how
got.
much? Is that how much
At
we're in debt?
$1 trillion in debt, more every 100 days. We're borrowing. We're at over $6 trillion. They're right now got legislation to be able to,
Oh,
do what they do called a bail-in, and remove everybody's money from their bank accounts. Okay, so think about that. This is why I'm not buying. I got a piece of land here in the country, but I'm not buying anything. You know what I mean? Because this thing has to fall apart, crumble down. There's going to be some rough times, right? And again, I don't know when the timelines are going to split. I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, I hear some people telling you in 25 and all this stuff. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah,
We don't know. We're gonna be on this planet together, except for the people that are passing on, for who knows how long. So we gotta, in our minds, we gotta set our minds as, oh, well, we might be here, for the rest of the time that we're on this planet, right? The timelines might not split. Who knows? I don't know. We have to think that way and get involved in things that are going to move forward, in order to help our family and our community and move forward back to liberty and freedom and sovereignty for all. And whatever the reptilians want to do with their freak show, their clown show, their things with, I don't even want to say it because Facebook will have a problem with it. It's a disaster. It's a disgrace. It's an embarrassment, right? I mean, we got men boxing against women.
Yeah,
and beating up on them because they can't handle a real man.
Now Facebook will take us down for that. They protect certain groups of people, which that just makes me sick right there.
Well, I'm just saying men shouldn't box women. That's all I'm saying.
Okay? Yeah, I agree with you. And it's crazy that we can't even have that type of opinion no more. To think that I just had to say that, it makes me mad that I even had to say it, it really does. It's like,
well, everybody can have their own group. You know what I mean? You got men with men, you got women with women biologically, and then you can have the middle group and they can fight it out all they want. Boxing, karate, freaking, whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whatever they want to do, go at it. Go at it full force. We'll even cheer you on there. So there we go. We'll cheer you on. But at the end of the day, this world's got to freaking, it's going to be shaken to the core. People better wake up. They better prepare themselves. If you say, I don't have any money, stop saying that, because that's what you're attracting in your life. We're going to be helped here. And that's another reason why my son tells you to opt in, because we got a lot of stuff going on that's going to help people, not just survive through what's going on, but thrive through it. Everything is about positioning. Okay. I talked to Sheriff Mack about that this morning, son. Say the blue wins. Okay.
Right.
And we know that nothing's really changed since the last one. Right.
Yeah. I got a theory. I think even before, I think maybe, what's his face? Obama is still the president, dude.
Well, he's been running shit, but he don't even run it. It's above him. He's just a puppet.
Yeah.
But the ones that make the money can run everything, right? Because they can make money.
They liked him a lot because
he did what he was told.
Man, he did
what he was told, right?
He's good at that shit, right? So, and a lot of people believe he's a freaking clone of Akhenaten. I will say this.
I don't know, but I can't, be living with people I'm at a point right now where I see all these people, they're hoping and they're praying and they're really working hard. And I get it, for this election, right? Which either way it goes, it's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, because either way it goes, the red doesn't want the blue to govern it, and the blue doesn't want the red to govern it. Regardless of what those percentages are, I don't care if it's 60% blue and 40% red or 60% red and 40% blue. That's irrelevant. The blue doesn't want to be governed by the red, and the red doesn't want to be governed by the blue. Okay, fine. Let's separate. What is the difference if we can't sit down and have a conversation? Then the only and how we're going to run the community, because we're both part of the community, then we've got to have what's called the separation. Okay, because if you can't do a peaceful separation, then the next thing that comes is not so peaceful. And it's not something that anyone wants.
The Civil War, which they enticed it the first time, Dad, they caused that to happen. Look at all them people that died. And it wasn't even what they told us for. It had nothing to do with freeing slaves. That was a total bullshit. You know, a lot of young kids died during that civil. I'm talking back in them days, Pops, you was a man at 15. So there's men.
Well, yeah, you lived to be about 34 and you were dead, probably usually from a bullet, right?
Yeah,
and is that what we want for, I don't want that for my grandkids or my kids or my friends, my brothers and sisters out there, their families. We are at a point where we have to understand that we're at this second step. And that's the great separation. And that's got to happen. And, I was talking to Sheriff Mack about it today because they're doing this event in early September to help, the election thing. And I started laughing. I know some of you might get mad about that, but I started laughing because, what's changed? And, do you think that they're already the red and the blue? It's done, in my opinion. It's done. It's about now, can we separate peacefully and you guys govern yourself and we'll govern ourselves? And because the next thing to that is what you said, son. And that's a horrible thing. And I don't want to see any of my grandchildren go through that, or my friends or business partners or anyone that likes or follows any of the pages that I don't want to see that for anybody on the planet. I mean, all the reptilians and all those evil bastards, I have no problem with that. But with the good people, I don't want to see that happen to anybody.
No, I don't either. And yeah, I definitely don't want to see any of this happen either. And, these earthquakes are really scaring me, Dad, because they're ramping up, bro.
Don't be afraid, and there's going to be some big ones.
We just had another one in Cali, bro, and I got a lot of good friends out there. I got a lot of followers that I care about, that some of my people that I talk to, built relationships with. I got this one girl. She's a really good follower of mine. She lives in Oakland, and she's a single mom with 4 kids. So, man, I just hope it doesn't happen. But
hey, look, whatever needs to happen. Remember, there is no death. No. Everybody, they leave their spiritual being. You leave this matter body, this biological matter body, or hologramic, or whatever you want to call it. There's so many different people trying to say different stuff out there. It's exhausting to think about it. But the bottom line is, we are, a spirit, and when we leave this biological matter body, we are more powerful than that we are in here. So, people should be celebrating when people leave this earth, not in a horrible, sadistic, tortured way with children and all that evil stuff that goes on with women and evil, evil monsters and murder. No one wants that. I'm talking about when somebody peacefully goes, or even if, something happens with a volcano or an earthquake and a bunch of people go, well, they'll be going to the light. They'll be going to the creator. They'll be fine, even though it's going to be devastating. But what's it going to take to wake people up? What is it going to take?
It's going to take something serious.
Well, I told we talked about my dreams, I think last week, those dreams I had on the West and East Coast, and the one I had about the planet that I seen in the sky, and then the one where I was with Trump underneath the desk and all hell was breaking loose as I was looking up in the sky. It was serious business. It was not. The whole world was shaking and falling to the ground.
Yeah, and they're talking about, like, here, let me play this real quick. It's only a minute and something long. Hold a second. Let's see what they're talking about.
A 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck Japan last week. And on Monday, a 4.4 magnitude quake rocked Los Angeles.
4.4, guys. Go throw HARP in your calculator. Guess what it equals? 44.
Are they related? Well, the quake shared a tectonic plate, and now both are sparking fears of a potential megaquake in the future. Japan's quake prompted scientists to warn of a 70 to 80% chance of a magnitude 8 or 9 earthquake.
Holy shit, a 70 to 80% chance, Dad. That's a lot, dude.
Well, again,
Go ahead, brother.
It's the electromagnetic pollution, and one of the things that we're doing, I mean, that plane, and let's not get into who the passengers were, But
Right.
there's planes that are turning off in flight during the daytime because of the situation in the atmosphere with the magnetic sphere and stuff, where it's basically turning off the electric on these planes.
Yeah,
And so one of the things is, thank goodness, they're almost ready to roll this thing out, in big way, to get these devices strategically laid across the planet and to start reversing that problem that is, probably from the dark force. If you can collapse the magnetic sphere and pull shift the freaking world, how many souls did you just harvest? You just took
right.
out.
Well,
You took out billions of people, son, billions of people, and they don't care because they know few will be left, and then they'll populate again, and they'll roll it out again. So, we got a lot of work to do. We got to really move quick.
Well, Pops, it seems to me that they continue to do this in cycles. Like every time we start to get to a certain level of awakening, they do one of these global resets, and then they rewrite history. Like change tons of stuff. They've been doing it for a long time, but let's see what else they say on this.
Within the next 30 years, which could spur a tsunami. Depending where a tsunami hits in Japan, a government disaster prevention team said the wave could kill hundreds of thousands of people and destroy more than 2 million buildings. Scientists say it's not the time to hit the panic button yet, but do believe it's a wake-up call for both California and Japan to review response and evacuation plans. Monday's earthquake is the second Los Angeles has experienced in the last week, serving as a reminder for residents to be prepared. Officials with the governor's office urge people to download the My Shake app, which alerts people to potential incoming earthquakes. Officials
Wow, now they're just playing with us with the My Shake app.
Also stress really the importance of emergency kits filled with medications, water, food, and phone chargers capable of sustaining you for up to 72 hours. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Lauren Taylor.
I'm going to tell you like this. If one of these earthquakes happen, guys, and they start setting up FEMA camps, don't go there. That's what I'm going to tell you. I wouldn't trust it. I remember when that one happened back in 16 or 17, and the dude was sitting out in front of Red Cross, and he's like, they're like, why are you not getting help? And he was a homeless man. He's like, no, I'm not going in there. They're killing us. Remember that video? It went viral.
Yeah.
But they hurried up and got it took down on a bunch of places. Dude's like, I ain't going in there. And he looked dead serious. He looked scared, actually. Railroad bridge collapse, double dam beach experiment, flood disaster. What is this about?
Well, it's only going to get worse until we get moving with what we're working on and get that rolling out. We got to get that rolling out. And, I'm working on it, and to get it with them, they're very close to it. We think we're going to be able to get these major ones out really, really quick because of the fact that, we're going, people do you think that people that have money are thinking about this right now, what's going on?
No.
No, I'm talking about, you don't think there's good business people that have a lot of money that would not, would want to help because they got their family and they're not, real thrilled about living underground?
Oh, of course, there's some good. Yeah, I believe there's some. It's like just because you're rich doesn't mean they're all bad, I'm sure there are some good ones. But I'm telling you right now, Pops, two things we should be keeping our eye on is the damn Eiffel Tower in Paris, the Hoover Dam, and the Golden Gates, bro. Them three things, I believe, will all come to the ground. And the Hoover Dam, they showed us predictive programming of the Hoover Dam collapsing in so many different movies. And imagine if that goes, guys, you're talking that powers up all Las Vegas. What else does the Hoover Dam power up, Dad? Parts of California?
Yeah, it powers up a lot of stuff. And, again, it's going to be really super interesting to see this stuff flush out. I would say that I try to tell everybody, you got to get some food, you got to get some water, you got to prepare yourself and be ready to weather the storm. Get yourself, you know what really good stuff is, son?
What's that?
Beans and rice.
Oh yeah. Well,
Beans and rice. Believe it or not, there was one other thing that you could live on that stuff if you had to, but beans and rice are really, really good to have as storage food. If you can't afford to get, storage food, get yourself some beans and rice. I'm talking about beans and rice that you can make beans and rice together. That will help you. Make sure that, any medication that you're on, any supplementation that you're on, make sure you have a couple months inventory if you can. Do that for yourself. Get some water, supplies. Get something to clean water, like one of those sticks. You ever see where you can drink in the toilet, son?
yeah.
Not that anybody want to, and it comes out clean water.
Yeah.
Get you guys self-prepared, because we don't know with this red and red and blue and what's going on behind it that doesn't want to, lose their control of everything. We don't know what they're willing to do not to lose control.
Oh, 100%, Pops. And then check this out. Look on these stories, what got the Hoover Dam in it. And then up here, look what it says. How to survive a dam break. And it's got 33 likes on this shit. I'm telling you, they're putting it in the minds of the masses. They always do this. There will be tons of news stories about it first. What if this happens? And then it happens, I mean, it's pretty crazy. Why is California escalating wildfire crisis is beyond human control? I bet it is.
Now, didn't you have some gematria on like reptilians and something else that you were matching up? Reptilians and vampires.
Oh yeah, they're both 30 in Chaldean. So vampires is 30 and Reptilian is 30 in that Chaldean cipher. And a lot of the theories believe that they are one and the same, these entities that feed off of blood, these vampiric entities. And I think they are, because the Gematria supports it 100% that they're one and the same. Look at this, Pops. Doomsday scenario. They start hitting us with all this, and it's
they're selling right now. And when I was growing up, they weren't selling it, but in Walmart, in Costco and Sam's Club and a lot of these other stores, Target, they're selling survival food. They're selling survival food.
It's like, what do they know?
In Walmart. No, but I'm just saying, they're putting this stuff out in front of everybody's face, predictive programming, whatever you want to call it, because, they're everybody. Remember what I was telling you earlier today, son, that, I'm not a good person to play chicken with.
Right.
Because I'll just run, I'm already visualizing running right through it, right? We don't know what these people are willing to do in order to hold on to power. We have no idea. Okay?
No, we don't.
have no idea, right?
We definitely have no idea.
And you see how you're showing this? People are actually, they're addicted to end of the world, right? And all of that. Then they start vibrating in that. Then they're actually feeding their energy to it to create it. And that's what people don't know. We get enough people focused on that you're showing right there. It's going to happen. It's going to happen in spades, and it's going to happen all over the place. But if we start focusing on, look, we know this can happen. Let's try to focus on the solutions so it doesn't happen, besides the weather warfare that they're doing or whatever they can do that's manipulated, right? You got to pray and declare and decree on that. But look, man, if all that stuff goes down, which, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to go down to wake people up.
Remember this movie, Pops? Yeah, that was that movie that Dwayne The Rock Johnson was in the first earthquake that we had in California was connected to him, and he was in that. What was that movie called? San Andreas. San Andreas.
Right.
Yeah, man, that was a crazy one. So that shows you what happens when this event happens out in California. And now you heard what they said, guys. Not a 10% chance. No, they said an 80 to 90% chance of a freaking tsunami wave. And they keep talking about the same areas. The Cascadia subduction zone, right? This Cascadia tsunami. So there was this movie that came out, Pop. I don't know if you watched it. It was called Knock at the Cabin. Did you get a chance to check that out?
Yeah, I seen that one. Yep.
Real good one. There was a lot of programming in that with the whole LGBT, but that's for another show. But at 38 minutes into that, go to the 38-minute mark, guys, and that's where the super tsunami hits the Cascadia subduction zone. So the number 38 again. Remember, in the new season of Evil, the Antichrist was going to be born 38 days after season 4, episode 1, when they were at the particle accelerator. And the girl that flipped out on the plane, Tiffany Gomez, that seen the reptilian on the plane in 2023, 38 days after she's seen that reptilian on the plane, boom, Lahaina massacre happens. So there's something with this 38 number. We see it on the cover of Murder by Numbers, which was a movie with Sandra Bullock. She was 38 years old when she filmed that movie. So there's definitely some organic synchronicity going on here. And I think it's God's way of trying to warn us, through the universal language, which is symbols and numbers.
Well, also, just so you know, I think we're either in the age of Aquarius now, where I think isn't it Pluto that is in there? And if you go back 248 years ago, when Pluto was in Aquarius, okay? We just got out of the Civil War. We got out of the 1776, so 1778, and through 1790 something. So we're going to go through, and you read what that was and what was going on there. Let me read this. I think I got this. Hold on one second. Let me find it. Yeah, we are getting ready to. All of it matches exactly with what's going on right now. By the way.
Yeah. And Pluto is the god of death too. So,
okay, hold on. I almost shut me out of our thing here. Hold on, because I want to read this to everybody, because this is where we're headed for the next 20 years. Why Pluto's move into Aquarius is the big. Do you want me to show you this, son, real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me show my desk.
Shout out to everyone in the comments too. Make sure you smash that like button. Share the video. We appreciate y'all.
I don't know why it's doing that to me. It's not letting me. That's very.
Tiffany Gomez, her name wasn't spelled like that, Rhonda. She spelled it very strange. Her name was spelled Gomes, which I thought was weird.
Okay, I'm pulling this up. Tell me if you can see this.
Okay. Oh, here it is.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. So this whole thing with Pluto going into Aquarius, and it's going to be there for about 20 years. And what does it do? When was the last time it came around in that, Pluto in Aquarius? When did that happen? We want to find out. So down here.
Was it 2008?
No. It's just happening now. But it happened back in the Oh, here we go. Here we go. What years was Pluto previous in Aquarius, and what happened? Now, remember, God commands us to look for signs and wonders in the heavens. Does he or does he not?
Yeah, definitely does.
Did he create the zodiac?
100%. That's why I don't
Right.
understand how people think it's evil. I think they just don't want us to pay
Well, it's
attention.
indoctrination. Believe me when I'm telling you, the other side's looking at it all the time.
100%.
And they're doing things within it. So let's read this. Astrologers for centuries have observed phenomenon in the heavens and connected them to whatever was happening on Earth when the phenomenon repeated itself. Therefore, one way to understand what Pluto in Aquarius might bring is to go back 248 years into the past. That is the last time Pluto awakened the Aquarius consciousness. So let's go back there. The last time Pluto moved into Aquarius was at the end of the 18th century, between 1778 and 1798, which coincided with the beginning of what some historians consider the Age of Revolution, a time in history when countries all over the world were rising up and challenging the ruling authority. These included major political and social revolutions on every continent. Okay? Sound familiar? Let's go back another 248 years back from there. Going another 248 years back in time, Pluto's previous stint in Aquarius, 1532 to 1553, like 20 years, 20 and some change, bore witness to the Protestant Reformation challenging the Catholic Church authority. Aquarius is the sign of the revolutionary and the visionary, and in and of itself is not about war nor destruction, but we see that in times when Pluto has implemented the Aquarius vision of equality and freedom, many societies indeed experience war and destruction.
So it goes in these 248 year cycles then, Dad?
When it comes back in here.
Damn.
Did that make sense to everybody? And look, the Creator God demands us to look at the heavens for signs and wonders. Okay? No, of course they don't want you to know anything. Just like meditation's evil, it's from the devil. Yoga's evil, from the devil. Everything's from the devil. When you look at who edited the Holy Bible, it wasn't the side of the light. It wasn't, Archangel Michael and Christ and, that side. The world ruler has been Satan. He wouldn't have been given it to Christ if he didn't own it. He didn't have it. They've manipulated everything. Everything they've manipulated. And look at what that says. Is that not what we are going through right now? Isn't that look like the beginning of what's getting ready to accelerate? And I think we've been in this whole situation for a little bit under a year now.
100%. And it definitely does look like what's going to happen. And 248, just that number in the Latin cipher, which is Jewish or Hebrew, right? The one cipher we can actually call Gematria. The horned god is 248, which is Cernunnos, the Celtic god of the underworld. They named Cern after. So I wonder if it has to do with them opening dimensions too in these 248 years. Like, if they're opening these stargates, Dad, I'm sure that planets have to be aligned a certain way, and as above, so below, the astrology. I guarantee there's something with that.
Yeah, well, the Age of Revolution is what they called it, right? And you can see that it wasn't about war in that, but it did go to war and destruction of nations. So we're at a tipping point around the world. If you look at what's going on over in Europe right now, in UK and other places, it's crazy time. It's crazy time. And what's going on in Canada, one of the brothers or sisters talked about, I think both, a brother and a sister talked about 15-minute cities. They're already working on implementing them. Even also, if you post something in Canada that they don't like, they can arrest you, I hear. Is that true, my Canadian brothers and sisters? That you can get arrested for posting something on social media if they don't like it? They're already implementing. implementing the social credit score, I think.
Dude, I'll tell you what is true. I got a lot of people from Scotland. Shout out to Scotland and Glasgow out there. And my dude in Glasgow, he posted a video that went viral, and it was just a little joke. His pug, his pug would do this salute that a certain leader of World War II with that little stupid mustache, you know who I'm talking about, the name we can't say, that he would do. So this pug would do that salute, and it was a dog, you know, doing. But he got arrested for that, bro, for having his dog do that salute. They came and arrested him in his home. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
In Scotland.
Yeah, it's getting. Listen, this is why we have to work on our local situation. We got to get ourselves in order. We got to work on our local situation. We got to start implementing things that are going to help you, you know, go through this period of time. You know, we've got a lot of people. I know a lot of people. They're telling me stuff that I trust about the financial system and stuff that's going on. They're wired pretty high up there. We're going to keep everybody, you know, updated on stuff. But you've got to start working on your own backyard. You better get with your neighbors. You know, if it takes more shaking, don't worry. Much more is coming. And get your plans in place so that we can focus on the solutions, praying, declaring, decreeing. You know, again, you know, more prayers together is more powerful, right? At working on solutions. Do you have a constitutional sheriff or not? You know, what's your school board look like? They're indoctrinating your children. Who's your mayor? Who's the DA? Is it one of Soros's cronies? What's going on? You better find out what's going on. And if there's not enough patriots or people that are truthers, let's say patriots, truthers, people that love liberty, God, family, you know, that they love each other, you know, if you don't have enough of them in your county, you got to move. You got to move. You got to move somewhere where you can. And I think that that's going to start being clearer across this country, kind of like safe zones. Right here in Texas, I can walk out of this house like Wyatt Earp.
Right.
Okay. I'll put the cowboy hat on and the boots and everything, and I can go out this house like Wild Earp.
Shit, here in Ohio, we do too. And
right?
I mean, even people that ain't allowed to, they don't give a shit.
Well, no, but I'm saying here, constitutional carry
you can carry here too.
The law of the land, and you can, you know, open carry, and no one can say anything. Now, business owners can require you not to bring your gun in their establishment, and you have to honor that. But at the end of the day, you know, we might be moving more back to the wild, wild west a little bit here for a while. And we better, you know, communities is everything.
Oh, yeah.
The community is everything. It really is. Once I get my family moved and I've got some time, I plan on going back down to the Dominican Republic for a few months at the beginning of the year. And I'm going to be working on over there too, for people that are looking to get out of the United States that don't want to be here. You know what I mean? That's okay.
Me and Donut have been talking about maybe moving down there.
No, it's great. There's a lot happening down there. But, you know, if the United States is put into a turmoil, it's going to affect the world.
Dude, they're torturing us. They're hitting us with frequency. Like right now, I feel like I'm going to throw up. You know, I told you, Dad, before this live, I got hit with something, bro. But I toughed it out and came on here. I almost had to go in the bathroom, guys. I know you don't want to hear that, but it was right before the live. And there's so many people that's dealing with this stuff. And then they tell us we're crazy. But how many of you guys are having problems sleeping right now? And of course, a lot of stuff is organically happening from the energy, right? Some of that. But then there's them targeting us too. And I think they're getting ready. They're bringing all these military age men into the borders, which is the UN soldiers. We know that. We're not stupid. Just like Trudeau got caught when the whole Rona thing first popped off. He was up there training Chinese soldiers. Like, bro, he's like, yeah, we were training them how to have warfare in the winter. what? Bro, they got worse winters in China than they do in Canada. So that don't even make sense. But yeah, I think they snuck them in, Pops, and they're gonna try to make a big move, bro.
Well, yeah, everybody, there's a lot of people having anxiety problems,
That's why
all
they're
that.
weakening us.
You know, you folks need to listen to the 432 hertz and the 528 hertz. Play that in your environment a few times a day. Pink Zeppelin there. Make sure you go into the healing frequency music.com. Someone please go to that site, put it into the comments. Someone from YouTube, someone from Facebook, please do that. Get healingfrequencymusic.com, free site. Listen to 528, helps repair DNA, helps all of that stuff. And then listen to 432 for your, to strengthen yourself. You've got to listen to these frequencies. You've got to sit there.
528 helps a lot with anxiety.
Breathe through your nose, pump your stomach up like you're one of those things fanning a fire. Close your eyes, hold it in for a few seconds, and blow it out through your mouth, and just relax and start doing some breathing exercises. This is going to be heavy on all of us. I do my exercises every day. I do my prayers, my meditation, and once in a while I don't do my things, but mostly every day I do them. My exercises, my breathing, my portal exercises. Out of a month, I'm doing them like 90% of the time at least. Okay.
You got to do
those
it.
Breathing, prayer, meditation, all of that. There's every day.
I do it every day. I do it at night before bed, where I do the breathing and focus on my breathing. Because if not, I can't even get comfortable, bro. Pop, since I've been a little kid, I've always had high anxiety. You know that. That's why I was popping them Xannies when I was young.
Well, I got that in the family, and you've got to listen. There is also frequency on that site to help you sleep. Also, Bodyline sleep patch you can get from the description down there. Go to Bodyline through that link and put Truth Mafia in the discount thing, because it gives you more off than Bodyline gives you. What they're offering, it adds to it. And get that sleep patch and put it behind your ear. Brother Ishmael Perez, I sent him some to test, and he was having problems with insomnia, and it put him out. So Sheriff Mack has pain, and with sciatica and everything, he puts a couple of patches on. He told me eliminated in 2 minutes. All frequency based, by the way. Proves the point. We're energy beings having a human experience. We need to be treated with energy wellness. I like energy wellness better than energy medicine, right? We need to be treating with energy wellness. That needs to be our priority. After prayer, meditation, declaring and decreeing, energy wellness.
I mean, all that mainstream medicine, like when I was a young kid, when I was a teenager, a big thing down in Southern Florida was Xannies, and that shit like destroyed a whole generation. It really did. You remember how I would just be totally out of it when I took it. Like I didn't know what was going on. And this was when I was a little kid, guys. We all do dumb shit as a kid. But I just always had really bad anxiety my whole life. It's something I've always dealt with. Now I'm able to handle it, through breathing and stuff like that. It's not as bad. I take my little edibles, but yeah.
Well, you need to put that link into the description, son, your Bodyline link, so that people have that, because some people are asking for, where do you get that relief disc and all of that. We want to have that in there for them. So let's get that in there. Once we're done, we can,
Can you put that one in the chat? I can update it right now. I'll update it on Rumble, and then if you could throw it in the Facebook one, I'll hit it on YouTube too.
Yeah, I just think that we want people to have that link so that they can go utilize that to help them. And the company's been around a long, long time. I mean, a long, long time. This is just a direct link, son. I'll put it in chat for you. And then, this goes directly to the site itself. Okay. That's it. So it's truthmafia.com/body align, one word. Would I get in trouble if I post that?
What, in the comments?
Yeah.
Worst thing they'll hit us for is spam and erase it.
But me? Because I'm in as MPN.
Oh, no, go ahead. Try. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm putting, to get
I don't know why they always hit me
the
for spam.
energy wellness products or products go to boom. And I'm not going to say what they do because I don't want people, Facebook to have an issue or YouTube. Oh, this it won't let me post a comment. It failed to post.
I bet it did.
Ah, that's really cool. Yeah, that's really interesting that it did that to me.
Yeah, it's so crazy, dude, that what I go through with censorship, it's like, dude, I just laugh sometimes.
Very interesting.
Because you would tell people and they would think you're crazy.
I'm putting it into the Facebook description right now. Son, I'll send it to you to put into the other descriptions on Rumble and that, so that everybody has that and they can, they can get that. I'll put it right after, the news. Yeah, after I want my health back, which is the Nano. And these things we do, folks, we don't mess around with BS stuff. We have solutions here, and they're going to help you. I mean, that Nano Soma also helps strengthening the energy body. What does that mean? Well, if you strengthen the energy body, your energy body in most cases looks like it got hit by a meteor storm. Okay, it's indented. And I need to give you that photo, son, so we can show it when we talk. Because it's indented, and once you start doing the sprays, it starts rounding out. It's like an egg shape, right, around your body, and it starts rounding out. So I put that into the Facebook so everybody had it. The music, and the 432 music. Let me get that music for you real quick too. I think they want that in there too, son. And you can put whatever you want. You can put whatever you want on Truth Mafia from that. You know that. You can.
Yeah, next time I'll just make sure I add all the links.
Yeah, what you do is just create a little. You
know what I noticed? ChatGPT's been doing, because I'll have it write up the descriptions. It's just easier. So I'll write out what it's about, and then I'll tell it, rewrite this, make sure you include all the links, make it look professional, but guess what it's been doing, bro? Changing the links. It's been changing and it never did this. It just started doing this. So I caught it today. You see that fake ass link it put on, I want my health back. And now it's good because we updated it. But you just got to be careful with AI, guys. It's deceptive.
Yeah, I'm just going to put the link in there for the healing frequency music. Where do you want me to put it underneath, son?
Just put it in the chat for me so I can copy and paste it.
But where do you want me to put it in the description?
Oh, wherever, Pops.
Okay.
Don't matter, wherever you think it should go.
I'll put it right underneath I'll put it above the Nano.
All right.
Okay. I'm just going to put the link in there, and then you can write something in there about it, just so people have the link. So you can go and open that up now on Facebook. I'm going to give it to you now, son, on there. And then you can put a description. And then again, you can move whatever you want, onto Truth Mafia also. And it's all on Facebook. So you can embed it all from Facebook. And the healing frequency music on Facebook. We have that.
Yep. And make sure too, guys, you go check out Library of the Untold. That was his video that we shared in the beginning. He's a really cool dude, Joey. I'll get him on a podcast with us, Dad. You'll like him. But his YouTube's really blowing up right now. He just hit 80,000 subscribers, and he does really amazing work. Really nice, down to earth guy too. So shout out
Nice.
to them. This one is the one you just gave me is for the healing frequency music.
Yes.
Okay.
And we have the Facebook page, son, too. We have the Facebook page.
All right, there we go.
So if people are on Facebook and they want to go to it, we used to have the other page too until that dude did that, you know.
Oh yeah, I seen somebody in the comments today asking if we still communicate with that dude.
No.
No, yeah, we don't.
I ain't got time for a person that knew people were getting major things happening good for people, and then all of a sudden just stops it, doesn't do it, right?
Yeah.
And hurts people. That really doesn't go. That doesn't go over with me too well.
No, it's not a good thing to be that way towards people, anyways.
No.
I mean, you know,
And here's the Facebook page. I don't even know if they'll let me put that up. Probably not. But here's the Facebook page right there. So they want to go to the site. They want to go to the Facebook page.
Okay, and boom, boom, that's all in there. All right, so that's pretty much what we got, Pops. We got all the links in there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm excited for what we got to come, what we got to look forward to. A lot of amazing things. I know everyone wants us to be scared, but we can't feed into the fear. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And, you know, that's it. So we just got to.
I'm going to be here as long as God lets me be here to help you folks through this. Okay. But we got to get together, and son, yeah, we got to get on those descriptions and make sure you have the one thing so that you just copy and paste it. You don't need AI to do it. So we make sure we have all the resources for them, you know, to get into the community, to get, you know, things that they need to help protect them from this bombardment of the attacks that's happening with the frequencies, you know, to get them the frequency music, you know, to give them stuff that is very little cost and a lot of free stuff so that they can, you know, start moving in the right direction and, you know, feeling better and not feeling so anxious and all the things that the folks are telling us, you know, a lot of folks are telling us.
Yeah, Dad, I'll make sure what I'll do is I'll write up the email, because I had a factory reset my computer, so I lost my notebook. That's why I had to redo the links.
I'll get it to you tomorrow, son. Okay?
Yeah, no problem, though.
Well, we love you all very much. I want to tell you I love you all very much. And son, why don't you close us out for tonight?
Okay, we love you guys. Thank you. Make sure you hit them like buttons, share this video, and an hour and 32 minutes. Look into that 132 number. I keep seeing it manifest, so maybe it's trying to tell me something. I don't know, but Truthful out.